Alright guys, this is the World Class Happiness channel again. I'm Dominic. I've got another lesson for you today, which I learned fairly recently. I've been learning and studying happiness for a lot of years now. But this one I learned from a guy called Sam Harris, who's an American author, podcaster, he's a philosopher. I learned that from him fairly recently, and I use it even already on a fairly regular basis, because whenever I have a bad day, or not a bad day but a bad part of a day, because I'm human like everyone else, things go wrong and things upset me, and usually I can flip things around and turn meanings around to make it into a better day. But this was probably the best advice that I've ever heard, really, for doing that, and you might be able to use it yourself, so that's why I'm sharing it today. Imagine your worst day ever. All right, so think about your worst fears. What scares you the most? What could happen in your life that bothers you, that kind of almost keeps you up at night because you worry that may one day happen. All right, so for me, that would probably be my worst day would be if I was in an accident with my family, let's say, in a car accident, let's say, for example. This is awful to say, but I'm using this because it's probably the worst case scenario that I could possibly think of. So myself and my family driving along in the car, all of us together, we have an accident, my whole family gets wiped out, they all get killed, and let's just say maybe I'm in a coma, and I wake up and I get told to start with that my family have all died, and they also tell me that I'll never walk again, let's just say, and I can't move, and I've been paralysed from the neck down to make it really bad, and everything from that day is life changing. That would be my worst case scenario, and that's horrible to say, and apologies for anyone if you are in that situation or been in that situation, but that is my worst case scenario. All right, now getting back to where I started, a bad day. We all have bad days. Let's just say something along the lines of the car breaks down. All right, we break a limb, or our child breaks a limb, or we have a leak in the house, or a delivery doesn't turn up on your doorstep, which you've expected or you're waiting for, or I don't know, your bill doesn't get paid because of that, and because of money not being paid into your bank, let's say, and there's all sorts of little things that you could kind of come up with that could possibly make for a slightly annoying day, and a day that would kind of irritate you. All right, now we've all had days like that. Some of us may be having a day like that right now, and this may help you right this instant, okay, if you're having one of those days. Now, if you are having one of those days, think about your worst case scenario. Obviously, I've just explained mine, and as horrible as it is, that is mine. You might have something along those lines. You might have something completely different. Your worst scenario, your worst fear may not seem particularly bad for me, but you might feel that you could cope with what I've just mentioned. So it's your own personal worst fear. All right, if you can think about that and try and imagine how that would feel to be in that situation, then from that point, imagine how badly you would want to get back to your current bad day. All right, the leak in the house, the car breaking down, etc. How badly would you want to get back to that day from your worst day? Okay, now all of a sudden, when you start thinking of it in terms of that being your bad day, then all of a sudden your current bad day doesn't seem like a bad day at all. In actual fact, you can then think of it as a good day, because in comparison it is a good day. And what we're basically doing then is flipping the meaning completely. So what would have been considered as a a day where you're struggling and you're feeling down and you're feeling like, you know, you want the day to do one, you're actually then feeling good about the day, and you can actually then change your state and change the rest of your day, basically. So that was something I heard fairly recently. I've been studying happiness for a long time now, a good number of years, and this is something that I heard only a few months ago, and I have already used it a number of times, found it really helpful. So hopefully you can find it helpful too, and if you do use it in the near future and you happen to stumble on this video, just let me know how it went and how it made you feel. If you have ways that you can kind of turn around a bad day, let us know in the comments. That would be really helpful, because we might be able to possibly use that as well, or use that instead if that works for you instead. And if you like what we're talking about on the channel, just subscribe. Okay, and I'll see you on another video.